Hey, so my name is Jared and these are some of my friends. Now last year I did Movember with a couple of other guys and it was pretty cool. And Movember is all about raising funds and awareness for male mental health. And one thing that really surprised me though was how many of my friends or people I knew were had struggled in some way with mental health. And I thought, oh, what can I do to kind of help? And I thought one thing I could do, or try to do, was to start a conversation amongst friends. So that's what this video is. It's me asking some of my friends their thoughts on male mental health in New Zealand. And yeah, hopefully it starts a conversation amongst friends. So thank you for watching. Jed, basically, my question for you is, what are your thoughts on male mental health in New Zealand?
I think it's just that classic kind of Western male kind of thing. I think it's becoming a lot more common for men to kind of discuss how they feel, and I think that's what it comes down to. It's kind of it's not a standard kind of topic conversation to catch up with a mate and ask them how they're actually doing. You know, you kind of you talk shop and you talk about cars or whatever, but there's not really an encouraged culture to kind of go deeper than that with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. It's not normal.
Yeah.
Rightly or wrongly, and probably wrongly.
Yeah.
It isolates people because they can't face large crowds. They can't face seeing their friends. There's this kind of sense of failure and kind of that you're letting people down. And you know, we've got these really amazing people that kind of suffer with mental health, and they remove themselves from their communities, and they kind of shut down, and they can't interact with their friends. They can't interact with God. They're completely helpless. I think that's the biggest thing, which actually like the hardest and the worst thing.
I do think there's definitely like a lack of camaraderie among guys to be more vulnerable, I guess, with each other. You see women typically a lot more open about all sorts of aspects of life with each other, and I don't know quite what that is. It was just the way we're made up. So I do think like us guys need a bit more of a like, come on, something like Movember. So I think we like to be more part of things like that. So yeah, I think things like Movember are good to help have a reason to stimulate conversation, so that we can talk about things more often.
Yeah, I'm probably going to buck the trend here, but I think it's in a pretty exciting space. The fact that we're talking about mental health as men is something we probably haven't been taught how to do. Like, I know my father doesn't talk about feelings and emotions, and that was like something he didn't talk about. Yeah. So my role model wasn't comfortable, talking about mental health. So I feel there's been a shift, and I think that is exciting. I think people are able to express their feelings, and they're mentionable and manageable. And I think the thing that men are struggling with is our role in society. I think, men throughout history who were born, well, most of them were born men, had a pretty predetermined role. They were the caregivers, they were the head of the family, they were the providers. And that's not so much the case anymore. And I think we're sort of finding out, and we're in the space of being, what is it to be a man? What is it to be a man to you? How do you want to show up? And I think that's an exciting space to be in, because we've never had this opportunity.
In the UK, we've got this phrase, I'm sure you all know it, stiff upper lip. It's all about bottling down your emotions and putting on a brave face. What I realised here in New Zealand, that idea maybe wasn't as kind of widespread. People were a lot more honest, and a lot of my friends here in New Zealand had issues of mental health, and particularly the guys. And that challenged me, because people are willing to work through their own issues and be honest with themselves. And so I started to become honest with my own feelings and my own struggles. If you're in that space, talk with someone. It's probably the best thing you could do. And I've seen that in New Zealand, and I really appreciate the example that's been shown to me as a Brit. And that's now a journey that I'm on. And so I'm appreciative of being here in New Zealand for that. So,
what have you found that helps?
Having a faith, meditation.
Cool.
My faith.
Cool.
Meditation has been saving grace, I think.
Yeah.
Faith in what in particular?
Just in being alive.
Cool.
And it's actually worth it through all the crap.
Yeah, cool.
It's we've got to go through the good and the bad, right?
Yeah.
And we have to understand that the bad times will change.
Yeah.
They move on. Tomorrow's going to be totally different.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm supposed to look or appear this way, and perhaps in healthy-ish ways, you're like I need to be a rock or stable or dependable for people. To have fragility as a part of my season, that's not going to serve me well, or that's not going to be helpful. This could be like a thought pattern.
Yeah.
But I think the denial of that can escalate things in ways that kind of creep up and eventually are kind of like all upon you all at once.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, and you're like, wow, okay, I'm really I'm not in good shape at the minute. That kind of thing.
Yeah, totally.
We're less inclined to get help or acknowledge that it's a problem when it is.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily want to show that weakness. We want to display that confidence and have that security that we know what we're about and that we are comfortable in what we're doing and what we know. And I think particularly for things like mental health, that actually throws that expectations we put on ourselves off balance, because all of a sudden
What a noisy little motorbike.
all of a sudden we lose that confidence that we have in our own abilities, because we start second guessing everything we're doing.
It's a hidden problem in a lot of places, and a lot of it is people don't care. People don't want to care. People just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And what most people want, I found from my experiences, is they just want someone to listen, someone to be there, someone to acknowledge them.
Nothing was going to just knock it out. There was no pep talk, there was no little cuddle. It was great to know that people were there. But what actually was helpful to me was friends who just let me actually be who I was at the time, release myself from expectations of what I couldn't fulfill, and just gave me gainful employment at the time where I felt like I couldn't actually be valuable to anybody or do anything well. The community around me, there's a saying I've got from that, is that when you're in a time of uncertainty, make sure you pick a good community to travel with, because they will hold you and carry you as you go through the stuff. No pressure, just presence. Continuously was really powerful.
Yeah. I suppose I don't hear the question much about male mental health. You know, there's a lot of talk about mental health, but it's the male component of that intrigues me. You know, as a society and as a country, looking at what does it mean to be a male in New Zealand? What does it mean to be a man in New Zealand? You know, are there identity issues, like the society has shifted and is shifting? And so it was clear what it meant to be a man a generation or two ago, but it's just not clear these days what that means. And I think a lot of that stuff is for the better, and I think a lot of that stuff can be detrimental. But overall, it can create some sense of instability, maybe, and uncertainty amongst people, or amongst guys in particular, as they're sort of wrestling around with this issue of male identity or masculinity. You know, what does it mean to be masculine or feminine? I'm a guy with 3 daughters, and there's no trait of masculinity that I wouldn't also want for my daughters. You know, you classically have a thing of bravery or stuff like that. Well, I want my daughters to be brave. I want my daughters to be everything that you would normally say a guy traits, because that's the society that we live in. I don't want them to be princesses who need rescuing. Good. Thank you.
Yeah, all good. So feel free to talk amongst your friends.